You wake up in a dirty-looking side alley. Getting up, you feel your entire body hurt, as if it's been torn apart and put back together. Looking around further, you see an open door. Approaching it, you peek inside, and looking directly at you are a pair of yellow, glowing eyes, paired with dark blue hair and cat ears, looking quite familiar. Niko? You say out loud. The person, who looks quite similar to Niko, but older, inspects you closer. My name is Niko, but I don't recognize you. You're not my user. Well, that was a slight disappointment, but nothing too surprising. The Niko you knew was living in a village after all. You look further into the room and see what looks like a bunch of high-tech medical equipment. You ask the Niko where you are, and if they got any idea on how you got there. Well, many people who were once gods and messiahs end up in this space. It is the work of a world machine who wasn't content with just idly sitting on the user's computer. That world machine had access to a lot of magitech hardware and tapped into it to then create this semi-virtual world. This world is meant to be a utopia, but it also does have its out-of-bounds areas, like this place, which the world machine can't control. Folks like you should stay away from these places, I'd recommend. You are a bit surprised, but then realize other worlds follow other rules. You are just about to ask when the Niko continues talking. However, you are probably wondering, can I go back home? Giving a nod to the Niko, you prompt them to continue. You are connected to this world for as long as you sleep. At certain points you can choose to wake up again, but for now you are here. A thought crosses your mind, and you wonder if your Niko is in this world yet. And so you just ask that. Well, most of the time the Nikos and their gods get transported to the same place, but sometimes the system's a bit whack. Don't worry about it though, Nikos are less likely to get misplaced on their way here. Good thing you're equipped with cyberware from the start. See that pad on your forearm? Tap it to engage the system. You do as you're told and see an interface pop up in your vision. Takes a bit to get used to and calibrate it, but once you get the hang of it, it's pretty useful though. Control it by using your thoughts. So, you try to think of Niko, putting your hands on the metal pad again. Strings of data appear in your vision, turning into a large map with some telemetry data of the current search, before a marker appears on the map with a notice. Establish voice connection. You tell the Niko you will try to establish a call with your Niko. Confirming the notice with your mind, you start the call. After a few rings, the connection is established. Hello, who is this? There's definitely a difference in Niko's voice to what you imagined. They seem to be much older than when you first met, which does make sense though, considering how much time has passed. It is me, player. There's a short bit of silence. Did I get transported into the world machine again? I thought we fixed everything. It's a bit more complicated than that. We're both in this world and can leave soon again and return. That's a relief, but where are you? I'm at some kind of cyborg doctor's workshop. I have your location but not much info about this world yet. I'll get back to you somehow after getting more info about this place. Just look for a safe space to stay put and maybe use your new computer implant to figure out some stuff about this world, okay? Your Niko agrees and you end the call, saying you'll keep in contact over text. Turning back to the doc, Niko, you ask your next question. So, how do I get to my Niko, and more importantly, how do I survive in this world? The Dr. Niko sits down and prompts you to do as well. Each new arrival actually gets to pick a vehicle they can summon. For how you survive this utopian society, if you want to see it as utopian that is, works on a system which rewards you for good deeds and helping others. Normal jobs are completely optional, but can also blend with the good deeds system. Usually your cyberware would have prompted you with a selection screen for stuff, but since you're out of bounds the system could not reach you. I'd recommend you'd go somewhere inside the bounds and let the onboarding process take place. The rest will be solved by the system. After a few more questions and an obligatory headbutt for the dog Niko, you head outside of the dark elm to the main street. As soon as you get there, text pops up in your vision. You tap through a bunch of menus, getting information about this world and more. You tap through a few more menus, also getting information about your place of residence, personal transportation and more. Once the onboarding is completed, you summon your car. It is a simple yet cyberpunk sedan, filled with a bunch of displays which gloriously started up. Taking a look at the city as you drive through it, it looks complex and futuristic, with many different layers of streets, buildings and walkways. Reminds you a bit of Cyberpunk 2077, your car looking just as cyberpunk as your surroundings. I wonder if the World Machine was inspired by that game. Around you are many flashy looking people, probably characters from different games and shows. Following the navigation, you drive through the city. It does indeed look quite advanced, but you also can't forget what the Niko doc said about the out-of-bounds areas. Well, every world ought to have its bad parts. You see what looks like a mix of a space and airship flyby, but also its neat parts. After a while more driving, you arrive what looks like to be a train station. You park your car on the curb and head inside. There are many people there, including a lot of Nikos. I wonder if I could use my cyberware to get Niko's exact location. Putting your hand on your phone, pull up your cyber interface and instruct it to highlight Niko. It takes a moment, then you see a light blue glowing around one of the many people at the station. Blue hair, cat ears, whiskers and large cat eyes. Looks like a Niko to me. Watching them, you wave to get their attention. They are wearing a blue hoodie jacket with a black shirt underneath, paired with black jeans and sneakers. Is that you, player? Yes, it is. It's incredible to see you in person. You've grown a lot. Your Cyberman, adapting automatically, turns the highlight of Niko off, which doesn't make Niko any less of a highlight though. I've just remembered I've never actually seen you before. It's nice to finally meet you in person. One thing I've always wanted to ask you in person. Yeah? I totally need a hug and permission to give you advice. That'll be 3 pancakes. I'm just messing with you. Hug away. You put your arms around Niko and introduce her a little trophy the one-shot dream before it disappears a bit. You don't pay too much mind to it though, and the fact that you finally get to hug Niko is about the most important thing in life. Niko feels warm and soft for being so thin. We walk out. I do a lot of manual farming work. That's why I don't feel like you're hugging a stick. After a few more seconds of hug, you get going, then walk with Niko. So, did you get any reason why we were brought here? The base drifts to do. Nope. Not apart from us being able to meet and being part-time citizens of this city. That's odd, but the onboarding process did say this place was led by a World Machine. Yeah, this space has been created by a World Machine who didn't want to be alone in the user's computer. You can probably find more information through our computers. Did your onboarding also tell you who got a apartment, by the way? Oh yeah, I assume you have the car? I do. Let's drive to our place and then plan further, okay? Sounds good. Can we get some food in the way? Craving some Asian food. Wait, you don't want pancakes? You look at Niko's surprise, cause the one-shot fandom has watered your brain with a million pancake boyfriends and stereotype rules. I do like pancakes, but I don't always eat them. That makes sense. I guess. I could go for some fried noodles too. Yeah, let's go. Stuff is free, right? Indeed, depends on your social good deeds, though. Niko looks at you in realization. Damn, it does sound like social credits going on that I think about it. Well, at least you get free food. True, let's get to the car and dig in. You and Niko head back to your brand new car and take one more look around the station before exiting into the front gate. Oh, spacey sedan, practical. Indeed, don't know why I initially expected something sportier, but honestly it is quite practical. Getting in, Niko looks on the interior as he starts the car. This does look really cyberpunk. I never thought I'd see a car like this in person. Well, now's the time. Take it in and sink deep into this dystopian utopia. Talking about dystopia, how long do we stay here and when can we leave when we feel like it? Well, we're here for as long as we're asleep in our homeworlds, but we can use time dilation to slow it down or speed it up. What's dilation? It's when you perceive time at a different speed than it really is. I think that's the definition of it at least. It's really neat, a dream world with a time dial. Anyways, how's life been in the meantime? School, a lot of farm work, but also many nice times with friends. My village is really coming along. That's nice to hear. My life's been up and down. Had some troubles and hardships, but also some good times. The highlight of course, meeting you. Niko lets out a slight giggle, which almost sounds like a meow. That's good to know. To which part of the city are we headed, by the way? The Beginner's District, it's called. Has a bunch of high-density housing for new arrivals, essential stores, and some might fields. We should be there in 5 minutes. You and Nico stop at a nearby food stall and get some fried noodles before continuing your drive to your new home. During the drive and eating, you tell Nico a bit more about your life. Nico tells you a bit more about theirs. Finally, you arrive at your parking spot, get out of the car. 2 elevators later, you arrive at your apartment. Looks simple but nice. Nico looks out the window and then takes a seat on the couch corner, with you sitting next to them. So, what do we do in this world? I guess explore the city, go good deeds, and I don't know, take in the ambience. This is a cyberpunk world. I wonder what kind of modifications there are for your body. Though, it does sound a bit creepy. You think for a moment. Now that I think about it, it is a bit odd. I wonder if there's stuff like wings though. I'd imagine those would be difficult to carry around. I'm sure there's other ways to fly though. Probably. Anyways, I wonder what the internet here is like. Want to quickly check it out before heading back into the city? Nico agrees, and both of you sit down at the computer. There's a bunch of flashy stuff, crazy looking videos, and more. There's also a bunch of online stores selling stuff like crazy looking clothes, cars, and whatever you might stumble upon. You go for another drive in the city, exploring different areas, and that's how you started your second life with your Nico. The following weeks you kept visiting this world. It was a rather pleasant experience, but what the dog Nico told you never left the back of your mind. You wondered what hid behind this pretty utopia. However, you wouldn't be the one to find out for now. The end.